الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات وقال الله تعالى في مقام آخر شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن وقال الله تعالى في مقام آخر وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is our Rabb, He is our Lord. And He subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all of us for a purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself mentions that purpose in the Quran. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That I have not created men and the jinns except that they worship me. That's the sole purpose of the humankind and the jinns. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has defined another purpose of all of us in the Quran as well. He said, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Allah Ta'ala says that I have created life and death so that I can test you. That who comes back with good actions? Who amongst you do good actions? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us into a test. And that test is that who lives this life according to my obedience. And the obedience of the messenger that I've sent you. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's the sole purpose of people's life. That's it. And people then also have been given some hurdles. Because, the harder is the test, the greater are the rewards. For example, you take a grade 1 exam, kids who go to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. You look at their exams and they're like, so easy. 1 plus 1 equals 2. You go move on, you take your 5th grade, 10th grade, go to your colleges, your universities, the exams become harder and harder. Because after the end of the university, the last exam is so difficult. And all of the 4 years that you go to the university, because the reward is coming. And the reward is that when you get this degree, then you're going to go and you will find a job and you're going to earn and you're going to get married. This is the sunnah, that's how people live. Right? So, to make that exam tougher, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He put a few hurdles. And one of the hurdles is shaitan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created shaitan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created that enemy of ours. What he does is that he whispers in our ears. And when he whispers in our ears, then people tend to either follow him or reject him. But that's the test. This is a hurdle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put for all of us. The shaitan comes, he whispers in our ears, and then we either take his words or we reject his words. But our job is that we reject him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًّا. The shaitan is your enemy, and you also take him as your enemy. That's what you do. But this is a hurdle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put shaitan as a hurdle in our test as a challenge. And then the second hurdle that we all have been given is our own nafs. This human body or human being is created of two things. One is the bodies that we have, and the second is the ruh that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspires in this body. When a woman, she conceives, that's just a piece of flesh initially. This in her womb, that's just a piece of flesh. After 40 days, according to our tradition, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts ruh in that body, in that piece of flesh. And then the heart starts pumping, right? Then you go to the doctor, and after 40 days, and you hear the heartbeat for the first time, people become so happy, there's life. Before that, it was just a piece of flesh. And when people pass away, when people die, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes that ruh away from that body. And that doesn't remain a human being anymore. When people die, when somebody passes away, say for example, take a name, Abdurrahman. So Abdurrahman passes away. His ruh gets out of his body. So do we say that he is Abdurrahman? Nobody says he's Abdurrahman. He says, oh, dead body. Take the dead body, take him out from the hospital. Let's, do something to bury him in the graveyard. So that means that when people are not calling him Abdurrahman anymore, why? The Abdurrahman has gone back to his Lord. There is no Abdurrahman anymore. The ruh that was within him was Abdurrahman. So people are made up of two things: their bodies and their souls. Their jism and the ruh. And the reality of a human being is his ruh. That's his reality. This bodies that we have, this is just a vehicle. We drive cars, we go and sit in the car, we turn it on, we go to the masjid. We just went to the masjid in the car. Car was just a vehicle for us. This was a means of transportation that took us from place A to place B. This body that we have is just a vehicle. It takes this ruh from place A to place B. That's all what it does. So ruh, Allah Ta'ala puts this ruh in this body, and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has ordered us that we use these bodies in His worship, in His obedience, and then a time will come that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will take us away. The ruh will go back to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the bodies will go into the grave and will disintegrate. For some people, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala keeps these bodies as a reward for those people. As a reward for those people. For example, prophets, for example, sulaha, for example, shuhada. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps their bodies intact as well, but that's just as a reward for them. But the matter of the reality is that the bodies, they disintegrate into the graves, and the ruh goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the struggle is that this body that we have been given, all of us, this body has its desires. All of our bodies have desires. One of the desires is that these bodies need to eat. If we don't eat, then we fall weak, we feel lethargic, and if we continue not eating, a time will come that we'll get sick, and a time will come that we will die. The bodies will die. Another desire of the bodies is that they want to drink. So if we don't drink, right, for a day, for a two, we get dehydrated, and the bodies will die. And the third desire that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put into the bodies, and they want to have marital relations. So when a person reaches a certain age, then they start having these desires. And then people need to, if they want to keep within the bounds of Sharia, within the bounds that are set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they need to get married in order to fulfill their desires. And if they do it outside their marital bounds, if they are sinful people, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes them for what they do. Any sort of desires that they fulfill other than between husband and wife, they are punished for that. That's a sin. But this body has desires. Drinking, eating, having sexual relations. These are intrinsic desires of the body. And when people have these desires, now shaitan, he uses these desires to distract people. Oh, you know what? Look at this person who's walking down the road. Why didn't you have a look? It gives you the enjoyment of the eyes. And that basically provokes the marital desires. Then now loves, because it has these desires, he wants to have a look. He wants to have a look to fulfill its desires. So shaitan and this body, and the word that is being used for these bodies is called nafs. Nafs, this word in the Quran has been used for different ways, for different meanings. But one of the things for what this word nafs has been used is our lower self. Our bodies, our intrinsic desires. So shaitan comes, nafs has its desires, It says, oh, it listens to what shaitan is to say, and they both get together and they go against the rules of Sharia. Goes against the rules that are set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is our enemy. This nafs that we have, the desires, the intrinsic desires, the lower desires, this is our enemy. Because it wants to do things that are outside the bounds that are set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that's a problem. Right? Because Allah Ta'ala wants from us that we obey Him. That's our only purpose of life. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That I've only created men and jinn so that they worship me. Worship doesn't mean standing up in prayers only. It does not mean fasting all day only. It does not mean just going on Hajj. It does not mean giving in charity. Worshipping means that you obey Allah Ta'ala and His Messenger all the time. That's what worship means. That any time a situation comes, you have to think, you have to know what does Allah Ta'ala wants from me at this point, and then you act according to that. That's worship. For example, two people sitting together, person A, he starts talking about person C who is not there. Backbiting. Now the job is that the person A should say to person B, sorry, but this is against this something that Allah Ta'ala does not like. Let's not talk about person C who is not here. So this is worship. You're following the rules of Allah Ta'ala at any certain moment of time. And all the time you have to do something, right? I'm sitting here talking. I have to think, I have to know that I am bound by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to say things that are right. Right? Using proper language. Talking to people in a nice manner. With love, with care. That's my job as given to me by Allah Ta'ala. It's a test for me. It's a situation. All of you are sitting here. You have a job given by Allah Ta'ala at this very moment that you listen to me attentively because these are the words of Allah and His Messenger. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is a test for you. So every single moment when we are sitting with our families, with our wives, with our children, Allah Ta'ala has given us rules for that as well. Allah Ta'ala has said, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. You talk, you treat your women in a nice way. So when we are talking to our wives, we are talking to our women of our household, we have to follow the rules of Allah, and that's the worship. When we talk to our kids, we have been given a rule that we have to treat them gently. They are small little creatures. We have to talk to them in a nice way. If we have to advise them, we have to make sure that we are not like, if we have to even train them, we don't hit them on their faces, for example. That's haram. So every single moment of our lives, there is a test. And we have to think at every single moment that what am I supposed to do at this very moment by Allah. So every single moment is worship. So Allah Ta'ala says that you are created to worship me. That's it. Every single moment of your life, you have to think that what does my Lord wants from me and that I act according to that. So nafs, it has its desires, and when shaitan whispers and people go out of the bounds of Sharia, that's a sin. So that nafs becomes an enemy as well at that very moment. That happens when nafs is controlling you. When nafs that has its desires, when it's controlling you, then people go outside the bounds of Sharia. But if the ruh that we have been given, if that ruh dominates the nafs, then ruh has its say. Ruh, it comes from alam al-arwah. Ruh comes from a realm, a spiritual realm. So ruh is coming from that blessed realm, and it has its qualities. And it has all of the so-called, quote-unquote, God-given qualities. Right? It is it comes from an angelic realm. And then it has angelic qualities. And it wants all good. The ruh by itself, it is made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, quote-unquote, angelic. It likes to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It wants to pray, stand up in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It wants to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by reading Quran. It loves to give out in charity. It loves to talk good to talk to people in a good way. These are all angelic qualities. And the ruh intrinsically, just like the nafs intrinsically has these animalistic qualities, the ruh intrinsically has good qualities. So when ruh, it dominates the nafs, then people become good people. Then people become people of Allah. Then people want to do things according to the bounds set to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is a struggle between the ruh and the nafs all the time. If nafs dominates, people become animals. People become, they want to do whatever they want to do, just like animals do whatever they want to do. Right? They go and have relations with whoever they want to have in the middle of the road, who cares? Right? Animals, they go and eat whatever in the garbage cans, they're walking down the road and they see something to eat and they just eat. These are animalistic qualities. If the nafs becomes dominant, people get these animalistic qualities. They eat whatever. They don't even care. They go to the store, they don't even ask them, where it's coming from. What meat are you using? Who cares? They go wherever they are, in Dubai, they're in the UK, they're in the US, they're in Singapore, they're in China, they're in Australia. They just go buy and eat because they want to fulfill the desires of their stomach. Animalistic. They go and drink whatever. Who cares? Allah Ta'ala is allowed that, not allowed that. They just go drink because they want to fulfill the desires of the stomach. They go and, have relations with whoever they want to have. Animalistic. So when nafs dominates, people become animalistic. When the ruh dominates, people become angelic. People, angels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about angels in the Quran. لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويؤمرون ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. That they do not disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a second. And they do whatever they have been commanded. These are the angelic qualities. So when ruh becomes dominant, people become angelic. People have this feeling that they have to obey and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. This is what people become. And this is what Allah ta'ala wants from us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that our real human being, the ruh, it dominates the nafs and it controls the nafs. Sure, nafs, Mr. Nafs, you have your desires. You want to eat, you want to drink, you want to have relations, fine. I'll give you your desires, but within the bounds that are set by Allah. That's it. I will never ever allow you to transgress these bounds. I cannot allow you to look at the people walking around you half naked. I will not allow you to, turn on your TV screen and go to your cinemas and look at all of these people without, doing filthy things. I will not allow you to do that because this is something that Allah has not allowed me to do. So I will not give you your desires, whatever you want, but I will give you within the limits. That's what people become. So this is our goal. This is our job. This is our test. That we become people of Allah. That we become people of the worship of Allah. That we become people who are always obeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this thing is called taqwa. This thing is called taqwa. Taqwa is not to do anything. Taqwa is not to go and, have weightlifting in the gym. Taqwa is not something extra to do. Taqwa is to leave the disobedience of Allah. Taqwa is not to do something, it is to leave something. Especially in this day and age, my friends, my Shaykh, he says that, we don't expect people to stand up all night in prayers. We don't expect people to fast every other day. We don't expect people to, read 15 juz of Quran every day. There were ashab, there were people, it comes about Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, and all of these big mashayikh and big, ulama and fuqaha. It comes that in Ramadan, especially, they would recite one Quran in the morning, one in the night. 60 Qur'ans. We'll finish 60 Qur'ans in one Ramadan only. My Shaykh says you don't expect people to do any of these things. What we want from people is to leave sins. They leave every single sin. They leave every single disobedience of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's all what we demand from people. If people do that, they will become wali of Allah. They will become awliya of Allah. So this is taqwa. Taqwa is to leave sins. Taqwa is not to do anything extra. Taqwa is not standing up all night in prayers. Taqwa is that you leave all the disobedience of Allah and His Messenger. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. To live a life of His worship. In other words, live a life of taqwa. And this blessing of Ramadan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, it's a blessing. It's a huge blessing. This month is designed for all of us to gain this quality of taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has when he mentioned about Ramadan, he said, "Ya ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun." That, oh you who believe, oh you claim to believe. SubhanAllah, you know what? Whenever I read this ayah, ayyuhal ladhina amanu, it's a very scary address. Oh you who believe. Because we know how much belief do we have in our hearts. Is our belief really true? Because if our belief was really true, all of us would have become, wali of Allah. We still say la ilaha illallah, and we still do things that are against the laws of against the sacred law. What sort of belief is that? So, oh you who claim to believe, kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting has been prescribed upon you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an order that you fast. All of you fast in this 1 month. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then gives some words of comfort. This nafs, this is against the nafs. Leave eating, leave drinking, leave relations, marital relations. So nafs is, is striving, is struggling. So Allah ta'ala is saying, don't feel it's a punishment on you. Because it is something that's your lifeline. It has been the lifeline of every human generation. كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. It has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed on the nations before you. Know that every single human being that has come on the face of the earth has been ordered to fast. It is not new to you. Don't feel it's a burden on you. Don't feel that it is something as a punishment for you. It is a blessing for you. It's your lifeline. You take it as your lifeline. Because if there was no Ramadan in our life every year, we would have been spiritually dead. We literally would have been spiritually dead. We would have died long time ago. As soon as we had become adults, we would have been dead if Allah Ta'ala had not given us this month of Ramadan. Allah Ta'ala is saying, take it as your spiritual lifeline. Everybody has been given this. You know what? If people have studied biology, I've just studied in school, so I'm not an expert, so don't pick up on me. But, there is people, these biologists, they go out and do researches. And they see, they take, for example, a rat, they take a snake, they take a monkey, they take a human being, and they do DNA testing. And if they find something that's common in every living being, they say that this is a necessary element for life. Every single living being that we have tested, we have done a DNA testing on this, we have found that this particular gene is in every living being. That means that if this particular gene was not in living beings, that he would have been dead. Every living being has this particular thing. This is a necessary element for life. So, just like that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that fasting was given to everybody. That means it is a necessary element for life. If you do not have fasting, if somebody was not given fasting, that person or that generation would have been dead, spiritually dead. So this is your spiritual lifeline. You should fast. And it was given to everybody. Allah Ta'ala has even mentioned one of the fasts of the previous generation in the Quran. This word sawm, kutiba alaykum as-siyam, the sawm, fast, this word literally in Arabic means to stop. To stay away from something. Just like in our Sharia, we stay away from food, drink, having marital relations during the day from dawn to sunset. This sawm, so previous generations didn't necessarily have to fast on the fast of eating and drinking. One of the sawm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran is the sawm of Sayyidah Maryam alayhi salam. The Sayyidah Maryam alayhi salam, it's a beautiful story. When Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salam was taking care of her. And once she went out to take a bath, and she covered herself, and suddenly she saw that there is a man coming. And she was a very modest woman. It's not like girls of today. You go to the university and you try to talk to them, and rather than feeling, staying away from them, they smile back. She got extremely scared. This is a sign of a modest woman. A strange man coming to her, and she's about to take a bath. And she said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this story in the Quran. Read Surah Al-Maryam. He said, that I seek refuge from you with the most gracious, don't approach me. If you have this taqwa. And she's saying, stay away from me. This is taqwa. Don't come near me. So he said, this man, that indeed I am a messenger from your Lord. So that I can give you the glad tidings of a son, a pious son. And now she got very scared, very confused. She said, How can I have a son and no man has ever touched me? How can I have a son? So that means that I'm not married. No man has ever touched me. I'm not an immodest woman. I've not done zina as well. I've not fornicated. How can I have a son? So he said, You're right. What you're saying is right. You're a very modest woman. So he said, it is very easy for your Lord to give you a son. Why do you have to get married? Allah Ta'ala is all powerful. He can give you whatever. Anyway, the story goes on, and she got pregnant. And she is now extremely, extremely scared. Imagine a modest woman getting pregnant, not married, and she's going to go back to her people, and what are people going to to ask her? Maryam, what did you do? Right? And now she's thinking in her head, what will I tell people? What will I tell people? What will I tell people? I will tell people, that an angel came to me and he said this to me. And she must have been making all of these plans in her head, how will she articulate all of her story? Subhanallah. And then she delivered. And now she's thinking of all her plans, when she's going to take the baby to her people, what will she tell? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered her one command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that فَكُلِي وَاشْرَبِي وَقَرِّي عَيْنَا وَإِمَّا تَرَجِنَّ مِنَ الْبَشَرِ أَحَدًا فَقُولِي إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. Allah Ta'ala said to her that you eat and you drink and let your eye be gladdened. And if you see any human being, when you go back, you tell that person that I am fasting. What sort of fast? This wasn't a fast of eating, drinking, relations. You tell people that I vowed to my Lord a fast. فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنْسِيًّا. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I am fasting a fast of speech. So their fast was fast of speech. That they had to stay away from speaking on that particular day if they were fasting. But same words, Sawma. Now imagine that this lady, her only weapon to defend her own self, her honor, was her tongue. How was she? She was thinking, how is she going to explain it to people? Through her blessed tongue. And now Allah Ta'ala is ordering her what? Ordering her what? You fast. Tell people you're fasting the fast of speech. But she's a person of Allah. She knows that it's an order from Allah. I have to obey it, irrespective of what I say, what my intellect thinks. When Allah Ta'ala's order comes, my logic goes away. I'm not going to think anymore. But she's scared. Still scared, and she goes back to her people with that baby in her arms. So when she went, exactly that thing happened that she was scared of. فَأَتَتْ بِهِ قَوْمَهَا تَحْمِلُهُ. When she went back to her people carrying the child with her, قَالُوا يَا مَرْيَمُ لَقَدْ جِئْتِ شَيْئًا فَرِيًّا. Maryam, you have come back with an amazing thing. Ya Ukhta Harun. Now they started, calling her family. Ya Ukhta Harun. Oh, sister of Harun, alayhi salam. Ma kana abuk imra'a sawin. Your father wasn't a bad man.
وَمَا كَانَتْ أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا. Your mother wasn't an immodest woman. What did you do? Just imagine her state. Just try to reflect on her state. She wants to talk. She wants to tell people, you know what? This is what happened. But she was the person of Allah. She wanted to obey Allah. Allah Ta'ala ordered her to fast. She is fasting. She is saying, and she disappointed, I can't talk. This was a custom at that time. That, people were fasting the fast of speech. So what she did, she just pointed towards the baby. فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ. She pointed towards the baby. Now people became more mad. قَالُوا كَيْفَ نُكَلِّمُ مَنْ كَانَ فِي الْمَهْدِ صَبِيًّا. What are you doing? How can this baby speak in her cradle? But because of that power of fast, because of that power of fast that she did on the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because she obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala irrespective of whatever her intellect was saying, she became the person of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She did not think of anything else but Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down a miracle. The baby spoke. قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ. I am the slave of Allah. آتَانِيَ الْكِتَابَ وَجَعَلَنِي نَبِيًّا. I have been given a book. I made a prophet. وَجَعَلْنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنِي جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيَّ يَوْمَ وُلِدتُّ وَيَوْمَ أَمُوتُ وَيَوْمَ أُبْعَثُ حَيًّا. ذَلِكَ عِيسَى بْنُ مَرْيَمَ. This is the power of fasting. When people fast, this worship, this blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, it is so powerful that it can cause miracles. Don't take it as a small thing. Don't take it as a small thing. We leave our eating, we leave our drinking, we leave our marital relations, we leave our foul language, we leave our argumentations, we leave our backbiting, we control our gaze, we control ourselves, in this month, during the day, for the sake of Allah, it does cause miracles. Don't take it as a small thing. It's a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful worship. And the biggest miracle is that these hearts that die during the course of the year, we spiritually are dead. We go out, we do all of these filthy things. We sin day and night. Our spirituality dies. Literally it dies. And what miracle can be a bigger miracle than this? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this blessed month, Allah ta'ala gives it its life back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives our spirituality its life back in this blessed month. What can be a bigger miracle than that? Have you ever seen a dead person getting up after he's dead? No. If he's raised up again, you will say it's a miracle, right? When people are spiritually dead, but Allah Ta'ala gives them life back in this blessed month, it's a miracle. And this is the miracle because of this beautiful worship of fasting. So fasting is to stay away from a few things. And this is to stay away from eating, from drinking, from marital relations, from any sin. From any sin. There are different types of fasting. For us, one is sawmul jawarih, the fasting of the body parts. And that is leaving eating, drinking, marital relations. But there is another fasting that is required from all of us. And one is sawmul aql, that we leave our wishes in this very month at least. Just concentrate on Ramadan. Forget about your cricket. Forget about your football. Forget about your, all of your favorite things. Forget about, going and searching out for your favorite cars. Leave out everything. Just focus on Ramadan. Focus on Allah. Focus on this beautiful month. Focus on the mercy falling to you by Allah, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then there is another sound which is sound ruh. The sound ruh is that you connect back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You take out all the love of the dunya from your heart, all the love of the worldly things from your heart in this very month, and you connect to Allah. Have your focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the proof is the hadith. When people, they do not, it's not only, what I'm saying is that it's not only eating, drinking and leaving marital relations. It's leaving all the other disobedience of Allah and His Messenger. If the Prophet ﷺ said that if people, they do not leave foul and indecent things in this month, Allah Ta'ala is in no need of you leaving your drinking and your food. The Prophet ﷺ has said there are many people who fast, but they do not get anything from their fasting except thirst and hunger. And there are many people who stand up at night in Taraweeh, and they do not get anything from their standing up at night except fatigue, and except just leaving their sleep. Why is that? Because people are not eating, drinking, having relations, but they are indulged in sins. They're indulged in disobedience of Allah and His Messenger. SubhanAllah, I got to know people sit and watch movies during the day so that they can quote unquote kill their time. Time is so precious, my friends. How can you kill something that's so precious? Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Ta'ala is not in need of this sort of fasting. Prophet ﷺ said that if somebody comes to you and tries to argue with you, you tell him, Ana Sa'im, I'm fasting, go away. Don't talk to me. I don't want to argue in this state. That's what Allah Ta'ala wants from all of us. This is type of fast that Allah Ta'ala wants from all of us. And when people fast this true fasting, then Allah Ta'ala gives them the miracle that their spiritual heart that dies outside before this month, Allah Ta'ala gives its life back. And this is taqwa. This is taqwa. And that's what Allah Ta'ala is saying, that it was given to everybody before you, so that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you become people of taqwa. So that you become people of taqwa. So Allah Ta'ala has designed this month that you do get your taqwa if it's done in the proper way. You get rid of your intrinsic nafsani desires, right? You stay away from food, you stay away from drink, you stay away from marital relations, you stay away from backbiting, you stay away from all of the sins, if it's done in a proper way. So nafs doesn't get his food, and on top of that, what do? You give ruh his food. You fast by default, you stand up in Taraweeh every single night, you listen to the Quran, you read Quran. This is a month of Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. This is a month in which Quran was sent down. The inzal and the tanzil both happened in this month. It was taken down from the 7th heaven to the 1st heaven in this month, and it was taken from the 1st heaven to the heart of the Prophet ﷺ in this very month. So it is a month of Quran. People should read Quran in this month. They should exert themselves whatever time that they get. They should read Quran at least once, cover to cover, starting from the first page to the Surah Al-Nas. Everybody should recite Quran at least once in this month. This is the month of Quran. So people recite Quran. It's a month of charity. Prophet ﷺ was a very generous man. And Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that he was even more generous in this month. And he would used to give like a blowing wind. Just like the wind blows, Prophet ﷺ would just take everything and give it to people. He was very generous. This is a month of charity. It's a month of sharing. Prophet ﷺ said it's a shahr al-mawasat. It's a month of charity. It's a month of sharing. It's a month of showing your goodness towards other people. It's a month of smiling. It's a month to go and ask people around, how are they doing? And then go and share your blessings with them. It's a month of zakat. It's a month of the obligatory charity as well. So it's a month that you give your ruh its food. And the food of the ruh are all of this. Because our nafs, our bodies, which is made up of dust, it comes from the dust. So food also comes from the dust. The food, the drinking, all of what we eat, it comes from the dust. I went to Museum of Chicago last year. And I took my son along with me. So there was a section in which they were proving that, all what we consume comes out of the earth. The clothes that we wear, the food that we eat, even the meat that we eat, these animals, they eat from the dust, whatever is produced from the dust. And they were proving that everything comes from the dust. And subhanAllah, I said, you already know it. Our bodies are made up of dust. Its food comes from the dust. And our ruh, it comes from the angelic realm. Its food comes from the angelic realm. And all of this, zikr of Allah, remembrance of Allah, Quran, charity, fasting, prayer, talking good to people. This is the food. It brings in, it causes the mercy of Allah to come down. And that mercy of Allah that comes down as a result of that, that's the food for the ruh. So what is happening as a result? What is happening as a result? When you don't give the nafs its food, it gets weak. And you give ruh its food, it becomes strong. And at the end of the day, what happens is that when the ruh becomes strong, the nafs becomes weak, the ruh starts dominating the nafs. When the ruh gets its nourishment, the body, the nafs, does not get its nourishment, the ruh becomes strong, the nafs becomes weak, and the ruh starts dominating the nafs, and people become people of taqwa. And this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, that Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So that you gain taqwa. You gain your reality back. Your reality is your ruh, and the ruh can only survive if you have taqwa. And this month is the month to gain that. But it only comes if we truly fast, my friends. If we truly fast. If we, just think that we'll get up in the morning, and some people don't even care to get up in the morning. They just get up, say, oh, I'm fasting, I don't feel like eating in the morning, and they show that they're very strong. We are weak, my friends. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Human being has been created weak. Don't show Allah Ta'ala your strength. Show Allah Ta'ala your weakness. Never show Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala your strength. Show to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that you are weak. Tell Him, Ya Allah, I'm weak. I cannot do anything on my own. I am in need of you every single moment of my life. That's why you look into the sunnah. You get into your cars. What is the dua? Subhanalladhi sakhara lani lihada wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin. What is it? Wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin. Wa inna ila rabbina lamunqalibun. That praise is to Allah. Blessed is He, pure is He, who has allowed me to overcome this vehicle of mine. Otherwise, I did not have any power to do that. It's Allah Ta'ala's strength that He has given to me that I am able to drive my car. Show Allah Ta'ala your weakness. Get it? That's why the suhoor has barakah. My shaykh, he came the other day, and he was really eating, a lot during the suhoor. And he said, that I eat suhoor thinking that it is a worship. It's a worship. He said that Prophet ﷺ would eat suhoor, he would like to eat suhoor. Whatever was with him. He would love to eat suhoor. Because it's a blessing. It's a barakah. It's an order of Allah. Prophet ﷺ said, do eat suhoor, because this is something that differentiates you and the other people of the book. So show Allah your weakness. Get up in the morning, eat. Ya Allah, I can't survive without this. This food that you have given me, alhamdulillah for this blessing, I cannot survive without this. Prophet ﷺ, when he was done eating and he would be wrapping up his his eating mat, one of the du'as that he would recite was that, Ya Allah, I'm finished with my food and I'm wrapping up this mat, but, I will still be in need of this blessing of yours. I'm not done with this. I'm wrapping up now, but I'm in need of this again. I'll be in need of this in a few hours from now. Show Allah Ta'ala your weakness. Get up for suhoor. Right? So people don't even pick up for suhoor. And then people don't pray. People don't, do what's supposed to be done in this month. People don't go for Taraweeh. They're finding the masajid where they had like 15-minute Taraweeh. What will you do coming back home? Come on, this is a blessing. Go and find it a masjid where they take 2 hours. So that you can listen to the Quran. You can listen to the blessed words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is an opportunity of your lifetime. It's an opportunity of your lifetime, believe me. Who has seen next Ramadan? There were many people last Ramadan who are not here with us today. Who knows that in next few months or next few days, it's our turn to go back to Allah. Take it as an opportunity of your lifetime. Do things what you are supposed to do. When people really fast the way that they're supposed to fast, then they get this quality of taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the ruh its intrinsic quality back, which is the taqwa that we have lost in the other months outside Ramadan. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that this month is such a beautiful month that my ummah is blessed with a few things in this month that no other ummah was given before. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, it's a hadith by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, u'tiyat ummati khamsa khisalin fi Ramadana lam tu'tahunna ummatun qablahum. Number 1 is that khulufu fami as-sa'imi atyabu 'inda Allahi min rihil misk. That the smell, the foul smell that comes out of the mouth of the fasting person, it is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than musk. Than the fragrance of the musk. Just imagine, reflect. Do we ever care about these ants walking down the street or in this the plot that's next to us? No. We are even smaller than the ants in front of Allah. We are small little tiny creatures. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we fast, He gets so attentive to us because of this worship that we do for His sake, true fast, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gets attentive to even the smell that comes out of our mouths, that we normally hate. Allah ta'ala loves it because it is something that we get out for His sake alone. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَتَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُمُ الْحِطَانُ حَتَّى يُفْطَرُوا. That fishes in the water make istighfar, make dua for the forgiveness of this person until he breaks his fast. Allah. Fishes in the water, why do they again care for us that they make dua for us? The reason is that when we fast, true fast, Allah Ta'ala's mercy, it falls on our hearts. And when it falls, when the rain falls, it doesn't just fall on this center. It falls around the center as well. So when Allah Ta'ala's mercies fall on the heart of the true believer who is fasting, truly fasting, it doesn't only fall on that person, on that individual. It falls on the area surrounding him as well. And all the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it gets benefit from the mercy that's falling on him. And they make dua for this person, Ya Allah, please forgive him. Ya Allah, because of him, we have been able to share your mercy to him. This is only for this ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَيُزَيِّنُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ جَنَّةٌ ثُمَّ يَقُولُ يُوشِكُ عِبَادِ الصَّالِحُونَ أَن يُلْقُوا عَنْهُمْ الْمُؤْنَةَ وَيُسِيرُ إِلَيْكَ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself, He decorates the paradise every single day in this month. Every single day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He decorates the paradise for the believers and says to the paradise, soon will time come that my people will leave all of these tests that they have been given. All of the hurdles that they have to cross. They will leave all of these difficulties and will come to you. Very soon that will happen. Just imagine, Allah Ta'ala Himself decorates the paradise for the believers who truly fast. What a blessing. And Allah, Prophet ﷺ said that, the paradise has 8 gates, and one of those gates is called Ar-Rayyan. And that gate is only for the people who fast. On the Day of Judgment, it will be announced, where are the people who are fasting? And a group of people will stand up and it will be said to them, the gate is open, go enter into the paradise. And then when these people will enter into the paradise, the gate will be closed. What a blessing. But for that we have to truly fast. Prophet ﷺ said that in this month, all the evil-minded shayateen are chained, so that they do not go and distract people that they normally do. So that they don't pull people to the sins that they normally do outside the month of Ramadan. So evil-minded shayateen are chained. So this is a very good criteria for all of us to check ourselves. Prophet ﷺ said the truth. Evil-minded shayateen are chained. If we are still into sins, if we still want to sin, that means that we cannot blame shaitan for that. That means that it was the evil desire of our nafs. So we have to blame ourselves and we have to work on our own hearts so that we can take our nafs out of that pathetic state that it wants to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Prophet ﷺ said that وَيُغْفَرُ لَهُمْ فِي آخِرِ لَيْلَةٍ, that everybody is forgiven on the last day. Now Sahaba radiallahu anhum majma'in, they were all listening to this khutbah, this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ very quietly. And Prophet ﷺ said that on the last day, everybody is forgiven. Sahaba who wanted to be forgiven, despite of the fact that they were not sinning. Despite of them being pure people. Despite of the fact that they were so righteous people. When they got this news on the last day, everybody is forgiven, they suddenly spoke. قِيلَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ أَيَّ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ, Ya Rasulullah, is it Laylatul Qadr that you're talking about, that everybody is forgiven on that day, on that night, on that last night? Prophet ﷺ said, قَالَ لَا وَلَكِنَّ الْعَامِلُ إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى أَجْرُهُ إِذَا قَضَى عَمَلَهُ. Prophet ﷺ said, no, it's not Laylatul Qadr, but it is only right that people are given their rewards when they are done doing their work. It's a principle that Prophet ﷺ is giving here. People will be rewarded, people will be compensated when they will be finished doing their work. You work at the end of the month, you get your salaries. You have worked for a month, at the end you are given your compensation. Prophet ﷺ said, people will get their compensation when they will be done doing their work for the sake of Allah. The last night of Ramadan, the night between Ramadan and Shawwal, the Eid night as we call it. This is a night to get the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what are people doing? People are out in the markets. Shaitan is out and nafs, they have already not worked on their nafs, they have been doing whatever they were doing, they were not truly fasting. They did not get that blessing of taqwa back. And as soon as shaitan is out, it comes to the nafs, hello, how are you, I miss you. And then they go out and they start doing same things again. Going into the market, staring at people, going and spend their Eid night in the cinema hall. A'udhu billah. This is a night to gain your rewards from Allah. Ask Allah Ta'ala for your compensation. Ya Allah, I did work for your sake for the whole month. Ya Allah, you have promised that you will give me my compensation on this very night. Ya Allah, please forgive me. Ya Allah, accept my fasting from me. Ya Allah, accept my tarawih from me. Ya Allah, accept my recitation of Quran. Ya Allah, accept my charity for your sake. Ya Allah, all the good things that I did, when I control my nafs for your sake in this month, when I try to connect back to you, Ya Allah, in this month, accept all of that from me. And Ya Allah, give me strength that I'll be able to take this taqwa in the 11 months to come. I can't wait for next Ramadan. How will I be able to live until next Ramadan if you don't give me strength to take this with me for the next 11 months? This is what we should be asking Allah. We should be asking Allah Ta'ala for all what we are in need of, for the dunya as well. People don't have job, ask Allah for your job. If you don't have kids, ask Allah Ta'ala for kids. If you want to get married, ask Allah Ta'ala for a righteous spouse. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all what you're in need of on this very night because Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that on that very night people are forgiven. Allah ta'ala gives them their compensation on that night. And this is only for this ummah, for the ummah of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then Allah ta'ala has also given us this beautiful night of Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. This is a night that is better than 1,000 months. Just Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that look out for this night on the odd nights of the last 10 days of Ramadan. 21st night and the 23rd and 25th and 27th and 29th. We should at least, pray, get up a little bit before suhoor. In fact, we should do it every single day of this month, my friends. Get up a little bit before suhoor. If you're waking up, like say 30 minutes before the suhoor time ends, get up 45 minutes before the suhoor time ends. And just pray 2 rakahs, raise your hands, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah ta'ala for forgiveness. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. There is peace in that night until the breaking of the dawn. So if you just get up at least 15 minutes earlier than the suhoor and pray 2 rakahs and ask Allah ta'ala for forgiveness and all what you are in need of. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that, there are angels who come. تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. There are angels who are coming, who are saying Ameen to the du'as of the people. They're coming and shaking hands with people. They take all of what people are doing and present it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, despite of Allah ta'ala knowing what these people do. Because the angels become witness to what these people do in this blessed night. So don't waste out on this opportunity as well. It's better than 1,000 months. This 1,000 is just a number to show that it's better than a lot of months. It's better than your whole life. It's better than everything else. So please, we should look out for the mercy of Allah. We should really truly fast so that we can gain this taqwa, my friends. This is our lifeline. If we don't have this taqwa, we'll be dead. And then there is no difference between us and the animals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that, أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. People become worse than animals because if they become heedless people. If people are heedless of Allah, if they don't have taqwa in their hearts, people are dead. They're like animals. They're not human beings anymore. So we have to get our human qualities back. And human qualities are the quality of taqwa. And that can only be done if we truly fast in this month. And if we truly fast this month, then it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's promise. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, kutiba alaykum as-siyamu, kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, la'allakum tattaqun. Allah ta'ala's mercy is falling in this month, my friends. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that every single night people are forgiven. Every single night people are taken out from the hellfire. What does it mean? It means that people who have sinned so much that their name is written in the list of the people of hellfire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if they truly fast, if they do tawbah to Allah, if they ask Allah ta'ala for forgiveness, and they fast because of the blessing of this month, Allah ta'ala takes their name out of that list of the people of hellfire. Every single night. And on the last night, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that on the last night, all of these people who have been forgiven all month long, Allah ta'ala forgives that many number of people just on last night. This is the mercy of Allah. As if Allah ta'ala wants to forgive people. Allah ta'ala is finding excuses, how can I forgive my people? This is the blessing of Ramadan. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that people who make dua while they're fasting, Allah ta'ala accepts their du'as. The dua at the time of suhoor is accepted. The dua at the time of iftar is accepted. Dua in the fitri mustajaba. The dua that's made at the time of the iftar is an accepted dua. Just because of the same principle. We have just worked for the sake of Allah all day long. Just ask Allah ta'ala for your compensation. Ya Allah, give me my compensation. And Allah ta'ala accepts that dua as well. And what we are doing at the time of iftar, we are chatting, we are gossiping, thinking about what food we are going to eat. Women are in the kitchen, cooking all of that, which is fine, but let's finish everything, 5 minutes before iftar. Everybody should sit on the mat. Let's call your family, call your kids, tell everybody it's dua time. With kids, we tell them, it's prayer time, it's sleep time, it's dinner time. Let's call everybody, let's tell all our kids it's dua time. Let's all of the family members sit together, raise your hands, ask Allah Ta'ala at that time. Ad-du'a inda al-fitri mustajaba. Don't face that opportunity. As if Allah Ta'ala is finding excuses. Allah Ta'ala is accepting all the du'as of the people if people truly fast. Reward is increased. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that when people do nawafil, the extra voluntary things, Allah Ta'ala gives them reward as if they have done a fard, a mandatory thing outside Ramadan. And when people do fard, do mandatory things, Allah Ta'ala gives them reward as if they have done 70 faraid outside Ramadan. Allah Ta'ala's mercy is finding excuses. Shayateen are chained so that they don't disturb people. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when people truly fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, I'm not even going to tell you what your reward is going to be. I don't even tell you what your reward is going to be if you truly fast. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ, that for people who fast, they have two moments of happiness. And فَرْحَةٌ عِنْدَ فِطْرِهِ, that one of the moments of happiness is when after a long day, when they're thirsty, when they're hungry, and all of these beautiful dishes come in front of us, and we want to eat that, and so the Muazzin says, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, we read the dua, and and we say, Bismillah, eat it, and what a moment of happiness. We are breaking our fast. My son, he's always, asking his mom, hey mom, Mama, please, cook this for me. Cook pakoras for me tonight. Cook samosa for me tonight. Because he wants to eat that, he wants to break his fast with something that's good. He loves it. We all love it. This is one moment of happiness when they break their fast. لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. For a fasting person, there are two moments of happiness. One when they break their fast, or فَرْحَةٌ عِنْدَ لِقَاءِ رَبِّهِ. And the second moment of happiness when they will meet with their Lord. That will be a moment of happiness for them. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that الصَّوْمُ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. Fasting is for me. Every single thing that people do, that's for their own selves. Fasting is for me. It is a secret between me and my slave. Nobody knows that he is fasting. If he's praying, I will see he's praying. If he's reciting the Quran, I will see he's reciting the Quran. But I don't know you're fasting. I don't know you're fasting. It's a secret between us and Allah. It's just a secret. Fasting is only for the sake of Allah. Nobody sees that people are fasting. Allah Ta'ala says, As-sawmu li, because it's for me, وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ, I will give the reward. I will give the reward. And when Allah Ta'ala, who has the treasures of the heavens and the earth, who is the most generous, when He gives with generosity. He is Akram al-Akrameen. He is the most generous of all the generous that have ever existed on the face of the earth. When He gives, we can't even think what He's going to give. But that's if we truly fast. That is why, because Allah Ta'ala's mercy is falling, He's so generous, only people who are really, really, really deprived, they are deprived in this month. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, in one of the hadiths by Sayyidina Anas radiallahu anhu, he said, قال دخل رمضان فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن هذا الشهر قد حضركم وفيه ليلة خير من ألف شهر, that you are entering a month in which there is a night which is better than 1,000 months. من حرمها فقد حرم الخير كله. Whoever is deprived in this month, in these nights, then he is truly deprived of all goods. And then Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَا يُحْرَمُ خَيْرَهَا إِلَّا مَحْنُومٌ. Nobody can be deprived in this month. When Allah Ta'ala's mercy is finding excuses to forgive people, only those people will be deprived who are truly deprived. As if the rain is falling, and we want to gather the rain in our bowl of the hearts, and we just turn it upside down, so that no rain enters into it. We are not able to collect it. Yeah, what a pity. That all what we have to do in this month is just make sure that the bowl of our hearts are in the right position so that it can gather the rain of mercy of Allah. The only people who are deprived are who just want to turn it upside down. We don't want to be from those people, my friends. For that, we need to truly fast. We need to make sure that we are not sinning, that we are connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this very month. So make sure that all the time that is left is very few days left, my friends. Ayyam ma'dudat, Allah ta'ala is saying that there are very few days. When the things are small in quantity, they are very precious. The diamond, this is a rock. Just like we have rocks on the ground outside. But because they're very few in number, they're very precious. Allah Ta'ala has Himself said about the days of Ramadan, Ayyam ma'dudat. They're very few days. Take care of these days. 7, 8 days. How many? 8 days have passed. Subhanallah. 8 days have already passed. Very few days left. Make sure that we take care of these days. Don't waste these days. Don't waste your time. Please. Every single moment during your day, make sure that you are conscious of this fact that what I'm doing in this very moment. Don't waste your time. Please take full advantage of this. And make sure that do all what I've asked you to do. A few things. Don't say, get up for suhoor, pray tahajjud every day, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time. And then do your prayers. For men, they should go to the masjid and pray with the congregation. And pray Taraweeh. Make sure you pray Taraweeh. Read Quran. Give out in charity. You make sure that you recite all the masnoon du'as, especially in thought. Allahumma laka sumtu wa bika amantu wa alayka tawakkaltu wa ala rizqika aftartu. Make dua. We are eating the food given to us by Allah, and if we don't even recite Bismillah and the dua for that. And just make sure that you do all good deeds. Compete with yourself in doing good deeds. فَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. Allah Ta'ala loves when people compete with each other for the sake of Allah Ta'ala alone in good deeds. If he is doing one good deed, you should try to do 2. If he's doing 2, you should try to do 4. Compete with each other in good deeds. And make a lot of dua. And if people are able to do so, people should go for Umrah as well in this blessed month, whoever can go. Because Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that Umrah in the month of Ramadan is equal, the reward is equal to Hajj. In another riwayah, Hajj with the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And try to find out Laylatul Qadr. Search for it in the odd nights of the last 10 nights. And if people can do, if their work allows them or if their schedule allows them, they should also try to sit in i'tikaf for the last 10 days. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to do i'tikaf in the last 10 days of every Ramadan. One year he missed out for some reason. The next year he did 20 days. This was such a beloved sunnah of the Prophet of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Try to do i'tikaf every Ramadan in the last 10 days in the masjid for men. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us that we be able to gain that taqwa in this very month. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us that we be able to take that power, the strength of our ruh, so that we make sure that our ruh is dominating our nafs, not only in this month, but also outside this month, so that we be able to live a life of taqwa the whole year and all our lives, so that when we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our hearts are sound. Our hearts are filled with taqwa. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that on the day of judgment, this is the only thing that's going to benefit you. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونٌ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. On the day of judgment, nothing will benefit you, your wealth, your children, all of the things that you're trying to gather in this month, in your life. Nothing will benefit you except who comes to Allah ta'ala with a sound heart, with a heart filled with taqwa. وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Inshallah, we go. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. اللهم صل على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب.
لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم أعنا على سكرات الموت وعلى غمرات الموت اللهم تقبل صيامنا وقيامنا وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار اللهم انصر المجاهدين في كل مكان اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين في كل مكان يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين يا كريم يا غفار يا رحيم يا ودود يا وهاب يا وهاب يا وهاب يا ستار يا ستار يا ستار يا حنان يا منان يا Allah. Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, all of these brothers and sisters who have come, Ya Allah, for your sake, to listen to your beautiful words and the beautiful words of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, please accept their coming, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, count it as a good deed in this blessed month of yours, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, please multiply it with many, many folds, Ya Allah, and make it an proof for us on the day of judgment, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, because of the sincerity of all of these people coming, Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you please accept this gathering. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, it's all about your acceptance, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please forgive us of our shortcomings in saying things and listening to things. All the lack of etiquette, Ya Allah, that we had. Ya Allah, we beg you of your forgiveness, please, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Despite of that, we beg you that you accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, you yourself have said, Ya ayyuhan nas, antum al-fuqara'u ila Allah. That, oh people, you are beggars in front of Allah. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, of your mercy. Ya Allah, we beg you of your forgiveness. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please grant us your love, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we beg you that you grant us the love of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, we beg you that you give us the love of the people that you love. Ya Allah, we beg you that you give us the love of the actions that take us to your love, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, Ya Akram al-Akrameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, this blessed month that you have given us, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, please save us from being deprived in this blessed month. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akram al-Akrameen. Ya Allah, your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made dua, Ya Allah, he said Ameen to the dua of Sayyidina Jibreel when Sayyidina Jibreel said that he be destroyed who finds this month and he is not able to get forgiveness from you. Ya Allah, and your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said Ameen. Ya Allah, will there be any doubt in the acceptance of this dua? Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, we beg you that you save us, Ya Allah, from destruction. Ya Allah, you please give us tawfiq that we be able to get full benefit of this month, Ya Allah. And so that we be able to gain your forgiveness, we be able to gain taqwa, Ya Allah, that you demand from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please save our iman. Ya Allah, this iman that you have given us is the biggest blessing that anybody can get. Ya Allah, we do shukr, Ya Allah, to you. We are grateful to you for this blessing of yours. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, you have yourself said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you are thankful for the blessings, you will increase us in those blessings. Ya Allah, we thank you for this blessing of iman. Ya Allah, we thank you for all the blessings that you have given us. Ya Allah, we thank you for Ya Allah, this opportunity, Ya Allah, that we are able to talk about you. Ya Allah, we thank you for the opportunity, Ya Allah, this blessed place that you have granted all of us, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, save us from all shurur, save us from all fitnas.
Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Allah, people who look like our friends but they are enemies affected at their hearts. Ya Allah, please save us from their shurur, from their fitnas. Ya Allah, please save us from the people who are jealous. Ya Allah, save us from the, Ya Allah, fitna, from the shurur, from the evils of every single evil that you have ever created, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, save Iman of our generations, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, make all of us and all of them your people. Make them your awliya. Ya Allah, please accept all of us to serve your deen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, we are not worthy to serve your deen, but Ya Allah, if we are not able to serve your deen, Ya Allah, how will we be able to live our life? We beg you, Ya Allah, despite of our poor state, Ya Allah, you accept us to serve your deen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, Ya Kamal Akrameen, please save this center, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, protect this center, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Please protect this center, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please use this center for the spreading of your deen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, in this city, in every corner of the world, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, please protect the people who are running this center, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, bless them, bless their families, Ya Allah, grant them all what they are in need of. Ya Allah, give them barakah in every single thing that they do. Ya Allah, every single person who has asked for du'as, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you grant them more than what they're in need of with khair and afiyah. People who are misguided, Ya Allah, please guide them. Ya Allah, people who are sick, please give them perfect cure. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, people who are any sort of calamities, please remove those calamities from them. Ya Allah, when it's time to go back to you, Ya Allah, we beg you that you please raise us in a state that you're happy with us. And Ya Allah, you give us the tawfiq of reciting kalima as our last words. And Ya Allah, you call us with those blessed words of Ya ayyatuhun nafs al-mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyya, fadkhuli fi ibadi, wadkhuli jannati. Ya Allah, make our graves from the gardens of paradise. Ya Allah, make the questions of graves easy for us. Ya Allah, fill it with light, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, on the day of judgment, please, Ya Allah, give us our books and our right hands. Ya Allah, give us the shade of your throne when there will be no other shade but your shade. Ya Allah, please give us the water from the blessed hands of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, we have left this drink, Ya Allah, in this blessed month for your sake during the day. We beg you, Ya Allah, the result to give us the drink from the blessed hands of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please grant all of us His intercession, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please allow all of us to enter into paradise without reckoning, without questioning, Ya Allah. And give us a place in the neighborhood of your blessed Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, all what we have asked and we couldn't ask, Ya Allah, we beg you that you grant us all the good of this dunya and the hereafter with khair and afiyah. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, please accept this and accept from all of us, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصل اللهم تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين الحمد لله رب جزاكم الله. Inshallah, there is just a couple of announcements. There is a talk same time next Friday as well, inshallah, and there is a sisters tafsir going on every single day except this Sunday and Monday. So there is no session this coming Sunday, which is day after tomorrow, and this Monday. But after that, there will be a tafsir session for sisters every single day until the end of Ramadan. Basically, the idea is to cover the whole Quran, to go over the meanings of the whole Quran. So sisters are encouraged to come. It is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the morning. So it's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there will be another general session for brothers and sisters next Friday, inshallah, same time, 4:30 p.m. So please encourage people to come. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.